So everybody hates Phreak ever since he joined the balance team, I'm not making this video just because he buffed my Jinx this patch. No. Like, if you look at NVIDIA, her current win rate is 48% win rate, and if you look like, I don't know, 4 patches ago, 48%, yeah, okay, you see what I'm getting. It's like, I'm not making this video just because Phreak buffed my Jinx. No. And people probably hate Phreak because they don't realize how hard it is to balance the game, alright? So, for example, I got this video recommended to me this morning. A guy just climbs 300 LP in 2 days by playing Swain bot, you know? And this like GM, like in Korea. They're like, okay, Tony, if you look at the GG, most broken champs of bot right now are like 3 mages. Okay, Tony, if the game is so hard to balance, like, why can't we just nerf these champions and buff the ones that are here? You know, it's not that hard, Tony. It's easy. Okay, first of all, there's 162 champions, I think, in the game. There's like 100 items or so. Sorry, I'm a bit sick still. So it's like, how do you expect to balance every champion and every item to be 50% when, let's say, okay, you look at Seraphine and Swain and Karthus maybe too, yeah. Okay, they are OP bot lane, nerf them, so when they are playing bot lane, they have 50% with it. That easy, right? The game is well, no. What you just did is make them 50% win rate bot lane, but made them below 50% win rate everybody else. Like Swain support will be like 45, maybe worse. Karthus jungle, unplayable. You know what? Did you just realize what you can't do that? Like, it's not easy to balance this game. So Phreak, like, people hate Phreak because, you know, they don't realize how hard it is to balance this game, and because I realize that league players need something to blame other than themselves, right? If you enter a league game and you get flamed for absolutely no reason, it's because, you know, your ally just probably died. And you know, it's like, yeah, they're not gonna blame themselves for dying and making a mistake. No, they've gotta blame somebody else. That's just how the human brain works and league player brain works. That's just normal. Like, so of course they've gotta rush at Phreak to blame him. And yeah, and before Phreak, by the way, a few months ago, before Phreak joined the balance team, who was everybody hating? Oh, Riot balance team, blah 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 blah. Riot balance team, really bad. Okay, now Phreak is here. Works on the balance team. He's got a full-time job at Riot Games, and then suddenly he's making videos that he doesn't have to do, explaining to us players why he's doing certain changes. Like, he doesn't have to do this. He's not being paid for this by Riot. He's getting paid a bit by YouTube, but that's it. Like, and people, because, you know, he's exposing himself, you know, he doesn't have to do this. He's receiving all the negativity. He's taking all the negativity for players from the Riot balance team to himself. It's like, do you realize how great of a person this guy is? Man, like, people don't realize. Anyway, yeah, that's just all I have to say about Phreak. Like, come on. It's really similar to Riot Murdoch. If you don't know him, he's the lead developer at TFT. And he's the face of TFT. Like, he takes all the hate, he shows all the balance changes, everything. So if people hate the game, they hate Murdoch, you know? So they don't hate the rest of the team, they only hate one guy. Phreak is the same, pretty much, yeah. But yeah, anyway, enough about the meta. You know, the meta is gonna shift. New season starts in like next month, you know, like 40 days or something like that. I don't know, it's not exact yet. And things will get better. Right now, in my opinion, items are just what's making the game worse. Because, for example, Crit ADCs on bot lane, you know, like, not Crit ADCs, Infinity Edge user, let's say. Like, where's the first Infinity Edge user on this list? Maybe Yasuo, yeah. It's not really ADC though, it's just a mid laner that kind of gets played bot because people are cringe. And then the second Infinity Edge is Twitch, and he buys it third because he needs Borg Runa, right? And then it's like, mis goes it this if you Navori, this icon heat, Triforce, freaking GeForce, oh, maybe Dragon. You know, it's like you're already below 50%. Yeah, Infinite Edges is bad, right? And it's bad because it's a mythic item, and mythic items are really expensive. and you know, if you don't buy them, you don't deal damage, and you can buy something else because you have to buy that mythic, and it's just annoying. To just remove items, mythic items. Next patch is going to be better, right? So yeah, until then, we hang in there. It's gonna be okay, guys, right? It's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Right now we just play for fun. We enjoy ourselves. So on to my favorite part of this video, Jinx buffs. So Jinx, basically, I think let's hear what Phreak has to say first about Jinx buffs. Then I'll go over what I think they actually mean, because you know I play Jinx a lot, more than Phreak for sure, and I probably can have better insight on those Jinx changes. So let's see what Phreak has to say first. I won't go full screen.
Next is Jinx. Jinx got caught in Pro Jail. It's kind of a recurring theme here, which is champions got caught in Pro Jail because we probably over-aggressively made changes with Pro Play in mind this year, something we're trying to walk back a bit for the next year. But Jinx is basically 48% win rate everywhere. Maybe she was on her way out before the last set of nerfs, but again, pro data is always so slow that it's really hard to know. Regardless, trying to give Jinx some power back, and then if she goes back into Pro Jail, we do have some levers we think are very tightly pro-skewed that we can pull on if needed, so we can do a compensation nerf buff to Jinx in the future.
Before he finishes, I want to mention that this patch we are currently on is the Words patch. So the balance team was kind of afraid to make drastic changes because it would just change the meta for Words too much. But now, because this 13.20 patch, you know, is coming up, it's not Words patch. They can be more, you know, more crazy. They can buff my Jinx. They are not afraid of her becoming a pro in pro play, for example, you know. So that's really, really nice. Let's see what else he has to say.
If a 50% win rate Jinx is not good enough, but this basically says, okay, some generic health growth because Jinx doesn't have natural escapes. Okay, fine. Health growth is a pretty easy stat. It's not much to say here. Our cooldown down by 5 seconds, our damage up by 25, and some ratio says, all right, well, even if you're having a not great game, you can throw your ulti out, and you know you can kind of do some sort of otherwise low agency interaction stuff. Oh, and actually another big one here is passive AS stacks. So this like won't matter almost at all, but it lets you go for the really big high points where if you are doing well, you can turbo cleanup and get your 25% more attack speed to stack multiple times, and you can get some, you know, pretty incredible damage numbers if you get the miracle team fight. This kind of thing, this idea of it'll almost never happen, but once in a while you can go infinite, I think is actually really, really good for the game because it won't happen very frequently. You are not frequently going against double attack speed stack, triple attack speed stack Jinx, so it doesn't actually matter. You don't face it. You don't get crushed by this because it doesn't really happen very often. It's once every couple of games, but if you're a Jinx player, this will happen. Like if you play 5 Jinx games a day, you're going to get this once a day. You're going to be like, that was awesome. I'm so glad that's there. These are the kinds of changes that I think League can use more of, where as long as you're not like chain healing and going back to full HP after every single fight, that's the kind of thing where going infinite can feel really bad on like an Aatrox or a Kayn, where it's like, yeah, they're just ahead and they don't lose health anymore. I'm very pessimistic on in combat healing in general if it's not capped in some meaningful way. But Jinx doesn't really have that issue, and so it's fine. And anyway, yeah, this is kind of the state. Regardless, I think it's a really cool set of changes, and again, it's just some Jinx buffs.
How can you hate Phreak? Okay, look, like he knows what he's talking about. You know, the passive attack speed stacking, like this. You know, the 25% you get on a kill, you can stack it now. It's like if the Aatrox receive the healing, like or Omnivamp that you can just stack on kill or something stupid like that. Like it's a problem, right? They just don't die. But Jinx, like she gets attack speed, and you know, if Jinx has unlimited like 90 attack speed, for example, and Jinx plays against Rengar, guess who wins? Rengar. You don't get to attack even, he kills you instantly. Yeah, so you know, like he knows what he's talking about. He knows that this change is a fun one for the game, for the Jinx players, and it's not unfun for the enemies facing her. Like it's so good. Like he knows what he's talking about. People hate him, you know. It's crazy. Well, anyway, so HP per level, you know. Cool, I want some HP. This is great, thank you. It's gonna help a little bit late game, of course. We like more HP on Jinx. And this, besides this, I'm pretty sure they are gonna buff. Maybe not this patch, but I think they were talking about Doran Blade buffs, like 20 more HP on the Doran Blade or something like that. Oh, that's pretty good. Anyway, so the bonus attack speed scaling on passive Jinx, you know, it's like you get a turret, you get a kill, and then you keep chasing people and you have more attack speed than before, it's gonna feel amazing when you get those resets with rockets. Because usually with rockets you don't have that much attack speed, but now if you get some of those stacks, well, maybe you're gonna go crazy with rockets too, not just minigun, you know? Because in the current meta right now, it's like you can't really go in minigun range, let's be honest, unless you're facing, I don't know, an Orn and he's alone and you just gotta shred him fast, okay? Like, you just gotta get rockets. This helps with rockets a lot. It's just nice. Thank you, Phreak. Now we need to talk about our ultimate. Like, Jinx right now is only semi-viable because, you know, she's got no mobility, she's squishy, she only basic attacks, she has Infinity Edge, which is just a bad item in general. So she's only viable a little bit right now because she can get free kills with her ultimate in early mid game, like for no reason, or just steal Drake, steal Baron. It's just crazy, right? So cooldown, like her ult was already really low cooldown. It was buffed before, like last season, I think. It's crazy. It's 50 seconds late game, 70 early game. That's like you have it once a week. It's insane. And besides that, base damage, you know, a bit more a bit more damage base and scaling with base attack damage as well. So these, I wonder, like right now, let's say on level 6, okay, Jinx level 6, you see an enemy mid laner recalling with like 400 HP. If they have 400 HP, you're like, okay, I'm gonna ult, they die. Especially if they take coup de grace, they are dead, 400 HP, you know. Why do I say 400 HP? Because if you ult at 400 HP, by the time your ult reaches them, they regen like 20 HP maybe or something like that. You know, they regen some HP. But if you ult at like 420, well, they regen like 20. They are gonna have 440 by the time your ult reaches, and maybe have a bit more armor. Maybe they don't die, you know. But if you ult at 400, you know they're dead. But I wonder now because you know, the art max damage, you know, it's gonna have 15% more scaling here on base attack damage. It's gonna have 25 more base attack. Like, it's like maybe you can ult at 450 now and guarantee a kill. I don't know. I'll have to test it. It's gonna, you know, make those random kills you can get early in mid game like more often, because there are a lot of times when I'm scouting the map and like, I don't have damage to kill this. Well, now maybe I do, you know. So this might mean a lot. Maybe she's gonna go from 48% win rate to 49. Although honestly, I feel like this change only matters for OTPs like me, because like casual Jinx players don't really know their damage that well, like their ult damage, the extreme ult damage. They don't know how to kite when their attack speed is changing like crazy, you know. Because if you give a normal player 2 attack speed, like 2 attacks per second, they kite with 2 attacks per second. And if you suddenly increase it to 3, like they're not just gonna kite with 3 attacks per second, they're gonna kite with like 2.3 maybe, you know. They can't adapt. And this is one of the things I like about Jinx. Like, she's so easy to pick up and play, but it's like to master her, for example, changing the attack speed with Q stacks, passive stacks, little tempo stacks. It's hard, you know. You just need to adapt to your attack speed and change the way you kite based on how your attack speed changes. You know, your attack speed changes multiple times in a few seconds, you know. It's just so fun. But yeah, it's gonna be nice. Thank you, Phreak, again. You're amazing. Don't let people tell you what to do. Don't let the hate get you. And you know, until next season, Infinity Edge ADCs and bot lane in general is gonna be a mess. It's just filled with freaking Trifles, freaking Rageblade, Bork, and mages. Infinity Edge doesn't really exist. But you know what? It's fine. I don't mind it. Because next season, honestly, like, items are so bad, man. Duskblade and Static, for example. Dog shit items, man. Why they exist? They break the game. Anyway, mythic items get removed next season. Hopefully all the items will be overall nerfed, and you can like have more options. Like, you're not forced to buy a mythic anymore. Like on Jinx, if you don't buy Infinity Edge, buy second or third item, it's like you don't deal damage. You have to buy it. But maybe next patch, if they have like I don't know, if they have a Norn or like Ramos, and you just want to deal damage, you don't have to go like Kraken, Infinity, LDR. You can just go Kraken, LDR, and Bork, you know, and it's not int. because you didn't buy Infinity a second, you know. Maybe that's how it's gonna be next season. Hopefully, we'll see though. We'll see. Yeah. Until next time, guys. See you. Thanks for watching. Sorry for not posting last week. I was just sick. Had a wedding. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.